computer. Good evening, everyone. It is that time of week, my favorite time of the week, Wow Wednesday with Solex, where we get to share our stories and experiences with AO scan technology is my favorite thing, but we also have lots of other great technologies and new revolutionary products with Solex. I have been gone for a couple of weeks and I have missed you so much. I love seeing your faces, hearing your voices, and hearing your stories and the stories that you are getting from sharing AO scan technology with other people, empowering people, making an impact on their lives, and creating that ripple that we are trying to empower everyone around the world. Remembering that we are using information technology because how do you get to the root of something without information? How do you start making changes without information? How do you prevent things without information? So information technology is so much more important than labels and diagnoses. That's why I love AO Scan. So I am going to open it up to you all this evening. I would love to hear anything that you have to share about AO Scan or anything else Solex. So raise your hand, unmute yourself, and just let me hear. Looks like Jason. Jason's trying to unmute there.
Raise your hand, raise your hand. Well, mine's not about the AO scan directly this week, but I want to share my experience since Dr. Sheila, since you shared that YouTube video of our Canadian rep that has done so well.
Patricia.
I watched that video, right, Patricia, and I thought, why am I not using the foot detox as much? Like maybe I should be using it more, because over the last couple of weeks, I've had this like knee pain that nothing will touch. I mean, we do lots of healing modalities here at our clinic. Even with the AO scan, there was still something that I was missing. And so when we came home from this past weekend, we were down in California and doing tons of walking. And I tell you, I was in so much agony the whole weekend. Came home, and that's the first thing I did. We got off the plane, I came home and I plugged that in upstairs. And I sat and I did that foot detox. Incredible. Like within an hour, I felt so much better. So I've been like addicted to it now. I've been doing it I've been doing it at least twice a day. And sometimes like back to back, just with a little bit of a gap in between, and like no pain. I've had no pain. I go up and down the stairs now. I don't know why I wasn't using it. So it's new. It's fairly new for us, right? But
Yeah.
And now we have new clients come in, and while we're doing a consultation, we put them on that. That's like part of our protocol now. Sit down, we'll talk, but get your feet up on that foot detox. So I'm really excited to implement that particular energy medicine a lot more into what we do.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy because I too had to be reminded. If you're not a practitioner, you still have a home. If you have any of these technologies in your home, when people come to visit, your friends, your family, your neighbors, get them on these things and just offer to give them a complimentary session. Let them experience it, because how amazing would that be if they had the capability of using these things in their own homes? That is such a powerful reminder, Melissa. And I'm telling you, that foot detox should be in every household. It is so good for everything. I don't know anyone who doesn't benefit from what those radio frequency waves do, moving up through our feet into the body to stimulate our immune system and activate an internal temperature rising so that we are also clearing blockages, whether they're lymphatic system, cardiovascular system, meridians, the energetic pathways, whatever the blockage is. I know for me, for some reason, I'm having an issue with my lymphatic system. And so I've been hitting that thing every day. And it's interesting. So if you're using it twice a day, are you doing 30-minute sessions both times?
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
that's what I've been doing. And you know what? I've decided Jason's, his mentality is like go big or go home, right? He's all the way up to 12. And I'm like, I like to start a little bit slower, with clients. But
Yes.
I decided to do the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to start at 10, and I did really well at 10. So then I, increased to 11. Well, today, I don't know if I had a breakthrough last night, but I could feel, because you know how you get the achiness sort of, or at least
Yeah.
I do. I was getting the achiness in my ankles, and I'm like, no, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to get through this. And all of a sudden, it's like something broke free. And it was like, I don't know. It was just, I felt so much lighter, and there was
Oh,
all of that pain was gone. So today, when I did it, I was up to a 12, like right from the beginning.
wow.
So there was
Wow.
definitely a blockage, that there was something, there was some, probably lymphatic as well, right? That I just had to break through. And now the pain is gone. So incredible. It really is.
Oh,
Yeah, I tell,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
go ahead.
appreciate that you said that because that achiness, I mean, it can really get intense. It's been real
Mhm.
intense for me, and I haven't broken through yet. I probably should do it twice a day, but I'm lucky to get that first 30 in. So thank you for bringing that up because if you all are using this thing and you start getting that achiness, don't think that it's bad. This is good. And I know it's really unbearable sometimes. Make sure you're well hydrated. It's so important to be well hydrated. Things flow so much better with water. Water is information. It's vital for life. So make sure you're hydrated. Push through if you can. If you need to knock it down, don't feel like a wussy. I'm only on 7 and I'm healthy without any known issues. But when I first started, I literally had to start at 1 to 2. And I'm not sure why, because anything else I've used, I'm at the highest level. But with this, so it's picking up on things nothing else ever has. So I'm on a 7 now, but if you're doing 12, whoa, baby.
So the reason I push people for a 12, number one, is everybody loves being in their comfort zone. Nobody likes being outside their comfort zone. And it's not until you get outside your comfort zone that you actually have these breakthroughs, physically and mentally and emotionally.
You're
And
right.
so when I put somebody brand new on it, I put it to a 12 until they start complaining about it. Because everyone will sit there and bear through it and bear through it. It's like, okay, this is getting really hot or really painful. Oh, okay, I can turn that down and turn it down one, and
Yeah.
let them keep going until it's like, okay, this is still kind of sore. Oh, is it unbearable sore? Because until we have these breakthroughs, it's going to be a little unbearable, and you have to educate them as they're going through this torture. But it's for their own good.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I deal a lot with emotional treatments as well, and getting into that psyche of dealing with people's emotions. And if we keep in our comfort zone, you're not going to get the healing you're coming for.
Yeah. You're so right. Thank you for sharing that, Jason. I really appreciate you saying that. And so because you have the experience of doing this with people and you see people making some major breakthroughs and shifts, and you're right. That's sometimes what it takes.
Mhm.
Push them. That's amazing. I love it.
Because you can't hurt them with this thing either,
That's true. That's true. You
right?
can't cause any harm.
So there's no fear in pushing people outside their comfort zone with
Yeah,
this.
you're right. You're exactly right.
We'll give somebody else the floor now.
Emmy, I am expecting Wendy. Okay, Wendy, I think Wendy did get on Emmy. I need one for lymphatic system. Yes, Shar, you do. This is amazing for lymphatic system. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. Mike Bennett, did you have one?
No.
Oh, okay. I just noticed you were unmuted. Karen, you're unmuted. Did you have a story?
Yes, I do. I
Yay!
first of all, yay. I first of all wanted to thank Jason for speaking last week on scanning the I don't even know the words to use, the homeopathics that are in the list behind. You know what I'm talking about. You were talking about putting water on the scanner and then scanning in. Well, I
Imprint.
had not realized that that whole bank of homeopathy, I believe it is, was there.
Oh,
So I listened to Jason last week and I thought, I'm missing something. And then I went on YouTube and I found a video by Lauren where he actually did step by step. And then he showed that part. So I went back into the program and offloaded all of those homeopathics into my profile. I hope I'm using the right words.
Yeah.
And since then, I've had very little cause to add anything in that was my own to start with. And I'm not sure that that's a good thing. And blue and gold and iodine were not coming up at all, but I've added those in, and zymes, because I feel that I'm getting some benefit from zymes. So I'm doing those independently of what the scan says I need.
Yeah.
And I felt the shift.
Yeah.
I felt the shift.
Amazing.
So I'm happy about that. And yesterday I had a dental appointment, and I've typically been really hard to freeze my whole life. And I was having work done on a tooth down here, a crown that the dentist made in his office. And I put on a playlist for myself as I was driving to the dentist, and I kept it on while I was there. They loaded me up with needles and then did the major part of the work. And by the time I was getting out of the chair after 45 minutes, my lower lip was feeling tingly, like the freezing was coming out. But I didn't say anything. And then I went away. I had to go away for 2 hours and then go back for the crown fitting. And in that 2 hours, well, in about an hour and a half, all the freezing came out. And I had no tenderness here where he put those big needles in the back, the big muscle in the back, nothing.
Wow.
I can go like this, and there's no tenderness there at all. But the downside of that was, while he was placing the crown, they didn't realize that all the freezing had come out. They thought there would still be some freezing, and he blew air and then cold water and did suction on it as well. And that nearly sent me through the roof. But I understand now the power of the scanner when it comes to that kind of intensity. And then last night and all day today, I've had a headache until I put a playlist on, and I used the same playlist that I used yesterday.
Oh,
So that, which includes EMF Shield.
yes. That is so important.
Yeah. So I've just like success everywhere. And I was wearing my band yesterday. Of course, everybody in the office wants to know what the band is all about.
Yes, ma'am. And you should make sure they all get one.
Yeah, well, she said, I want one. I said, well, okay. She said, how do I get one? I said, you tell me and I'll get it for you. And then there was a bit of a pause, and I said, how about if I send you a couple of videos, YouTube links? So I sent her Lauren's story about how it all began, which I think is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow Wednesday from last week, where Jason, you mentioned the name of the person who got interviewed with the big success in Canada. And I felt that was a really powerful video as well. So I shared that with her, and I have not heard back from her, but I'm hoping to.
So, Karen, that is amazing. Congratulations. I would highly encourage you to follow up with her. And do you know how to send her your link to purchase the 660 band?
No.
Okay, so when you go to your shop page, do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Then just go to shop and then search for 660 band. And
Yeah.
when that comes up by itself, you copy that URL and it will take them directly to the 660 band so they don't have to hunt and search for it.
Oh, okay. Fabulous.
And because
Thank you.
she asked for how she could get it, send her that link and say, this is how you can have one too.
Okay. Actually, I have to go in within the next 5 days. And so I will have that conversation face to face with her and share that.
Just give them the link. They want this stuff. And especially when they find out about our new mask, oh my goodness, they are flying off the shelves. If you got my email today, that memo just came from Solex this morning.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. That's amazing. I just wanted to mention something. You were talking about the dentist, and I don't know if you have the dental scan, but
Nope.
I'll try to put that video. I post things all the time, but people come on board at different times, so they're not seeing stuff, and so they don't know that you can do this or that. There's so many things. It's just hard to show everybody everything. But that little imprinting your shot glass with the homeopathics that come up, I resonate very well with frequency medicine. So oftentimes, even though I have hundreds of physical supplements in my libraries, oftentimes the things that come up for me are homeopathics because I respond well to frequency medicine. So, but I still take my dailies. I'm not going to stop taking blue and gold.
Well,
It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to stop taking pulse. It's not going to happen. For me, those are foundational needs. Yeah. So those are just, yeah. And biome and zymes, everybody should be using enzymes. Everybody. There's not a person that should not be using enzyme support for food. The situation that we have, we just require it. And the biome is just really great to make sure your army is what it needs to be.
yeah, huge shift for me after starting Zymes.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
Even though I've taken things like calcium and magnesium for years, should I not be taking those now if it doesn't show up on my scan?
Take a look at your complete blood panel. Those are going to show up there, and they're going to show up in your inner voice report. They're going to show up in body systems, letting you know. They're going to show up in vitals, if these are something that you need to be doing. But you can also go into quick scan. Quick scan, if you have your supplements categorized, like I have different supplement lines as a practitioner, and I don't always want to test all of them. I might want to just ask about this line. Some people do subjects like minerals. Another place you can look, if you go to Cephi and you want to scan the minerals that you need, you know where that is.
No.
Look and see if calcium and magnesium are coming up for you.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah. Lots of ways that you can look and see. And I don't know if you are comfortable with asking your body, do I need something? Sway right, forward, yes. Do I need something? Sway backward, no. But that's something you can practice as well, just to ask your body, do I need this right now?
Right. I've never done individual muscle testing, and I'm just learning about that. So thank you for the reminder. I will get on that.
Yeah, it takes some practice. It took me years before I felt comfortable doing myself. I do other people all the time, but for myself,
Same.
yeah. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And I just wanted to say Patricia was going to co-host with me tonight, but she was busy onboarding a new QLA and getting that new QLA her first member. So the girl is on the go, and I love what they're doing with the in-home parties and letting people experience these things because people need that experience. And they hear our stories all the time, and our stories are powerful. But if you invite them into your home or your space and you've got these amazing devices, let them have their own experience. And that's why I do so many complimentary demo scans with the AO Scan, using inner voice and letting them see how comprehensive this technology is for them, what they can do. Give them the experience, because once they see, they're definitely going to want to be empowered too. Thanks for all these reminders. It's amazing. Does anyone else have anything? Melissa?
I'm going to talk again. So, and I need to, this came to me, but I need to start implementing this more. But I did want to share that there was a call a few weeks back, and one of the top QLAs had mentioned her use of the MindSync app to get people signed up.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is kind of hokey, but I'm going to try it. And so in the days after I did the MindSync with the affirmations about, my Solex business, and, I have this desire and these aspirations to get on this cruise and whatnot. So I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm going to try it. And I did. I recorded a 2-minute MindSync of my particular Solex business, and just everything that I wanted to achieve, and how, this AO scan has affected my life and how I want to affect other people's life. Anyway, doing this probably 20 minutes a day for a couple of consecutive days. I had like 3 people sign up within just a very short amount of time after doing this MindSync.
So she quit doing it.
No, I didn't quit doing it, but I didn't, it made me realize how important that is. And I do the MindSync for other affirmations, but I thought, no, I'm going to do it for the business and just see. I mean, Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but I really do believe that there's some power behind, reprogramming the subconscious mind, and just spending the time. I'm one that I don't have a lot of spare time to be doing the self-care, so I'm doing all the things at once, right? I'm doing my 660 band with listening to my inner voice. At the same time, I'm doing red light therapy, so I'm doing all of it, and listening to my affirmations. So I just want to let people know that it really does work. Just spend the time doing the recordings and implement that, because it's powerful. I haven't hit number one enroller yet, but I do believe that there's some power behind that.
There
And it's a
is,
lot.
because we're speaking something into existence. Again, our cells only know what we put out there. And if we're putting a new message, they're going to gravitate towards that. We're raising our own vibration to, this is my intention. And now we've raised our cellular vibration to that intention. And we can't even help but to attract that intention.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Jason's telling me that I got to get at it again and start listening to those affirmations. It's been like a week since I sent someone up, so I got to get back on.
But I think
yes.
people have to understand it's not about just attracting, like it's putting it in your subconscious, but you're actually attracting
It's intention.
the universe. God is putting this upon us, right?
Yeah,
And
yes.
he's given us this blessing, this gift of, if you use this course or this treatment, then you get the results. And it was proven when she used it, she was getting sign up after sign up, and then as soon as she quit, so did the signups quit. So
Yep. And
so
didn't
simple.
God tell us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he? As we think, we are. We have the power to change that at any time. And mind sync boosts that so much faster than anything I've ever seen. I mean, it's a lot of work undoing all this programming, but mind sync is so powerful in helping us to do that so that we can become and think differently than before to what we really want to be and think. It's all right here. So mind sync to me is the greatest gift Lauren's ever given us. I mean, I could never say enough about that. And I tell him every time I see him. Jesse, you made a comment. I want to go back and address that. You've had melanoma surgically removed from the sole of your right foot. Time and again, you use the black sap to draw up more toxins. Is it safe to use the foot detox when there is an open wound? I don't know that we are supposed to use the foot detox with an open wound on the feet, because with that heat that we're activating with the radio frequency waves, it's going to activate circulation. So if you've got an open wound, we don't want to cause bleeding. So that to me would be the only concern, is not wanting to cause bleeding. Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm glad that you know about black salve. That is amazing.
Yeah. May I ask one question? I have the
Yes.
660 band. Can I use it when I'm laying on the PEMF mat?
Yes,
I can
I
do that
do.
together.
Yes, you can.
And the Rife machine. And I have a Rife machine. I'm trying to get all the help I can get.
Now,
I'm using a Rife machine with my hands or strapped. I don't have the straps yet, but I'm using it in my hands. So then I'm going to have the 660 band helping me and laying on the PEMF mat.
Now, I'm not a frequency expert, but I do know that there is a thing of canceling out frequencies. So that would be something I would want to seek out a frequency specialist and find out about combining these things all together. Because like when I do raindrop therapy in my clinic using essential oils, we tell everybody specifically not to integrate other therapies during that, because it's a whole therapy of its own and we don't want to mess with the process. So that would be a question that I would want to ask someone who knows more about that. I wouldn't want you canceling out the benefits of any of those technologies.
But in your clinic, do you do the 660 band and the PEMF at the same time?
No, I don't. I have my people pretty much, they just lay on the mat when I'm doing examinations so they can experience it, and then they want to buy their own for home. I don't do sessions just for the mat. I have people experience it so they can have their own.
Thank you.
Yes. And then I have flyers out with the 660 band explaining what red light therapy is, and they can have that for themselves as well. Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. How is it 7:28 already? 6:28, depending on where you are. I want to hear one more quick story before we go. And Solex is going to talk about our ears and how different things, different imbalances affect our hearing. So I'm really excited about that. Do we have anybody that has a real quick story? Marianne wasn't able to join us either because all heck was breaking loose on Vancouver Island. So, Karen.
I could share a little bit. So Marianne started scanning me at the end of December, the last week of December. And since then, well, I got my own scanner in early March. But since then, I've noticed some really subtle changes that are really powerful. So I had 3 knuckles that were popping. They would pop in the morning when I wake up, they'd pop all day long, and now that popping is gone. I don't know when it left, but sometime in the last couple of weeks. My fingernails, I've talked about my fingernails before. This nail here used to have really bad horizontal ridges my whole life. It now doesn't.
That's amazing.
Flattened out and I know that there will be more powerful things happening really subtly.
Yes.
So I'm ready for that to happen.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, everyone, it has been such a privilege and honor and blessing to see all of you tonight, to hear your voices, to hear your stories, and to see your faces. I look forward to this every week. But we got to go now, and we will have the replay on the team YouTube channel, Wow Wellness with Solex. And let's go find out what Solex has to share with us. So I look forward to seeing you again next week. Everyone, deepest blessings. I appreciate you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
fantastic week.
Blessings.